As someone who almost primarily reads romance, if not books with some type of romance in it, it only felt right to do a full comprehensive guide to help you find more romance books to read. This is for anyone who wants to get into reading, is already a veteran in the game and looking for new recommendations, or you're already an avid reader, but you want to read a little bit more romance. I have so many options for you. From adult to romantasy to sports romance to queer romance to young adult. We're gonna chat about a lot today, so make sure you are in a comfy spot. I always recommend a good bevy and a snack. Let's get into it. This would not be any type of romance book recommendation video by me if we did not include the queen herself. If you are looking for some good, heartfelt, hetero romance, Miss Emily Henry is going to do it for you. She's kind of developed this entire universe where these are all standalones. You don't have to read them in order. You don't have to read them to understand the others. It is fun because sometimes she'll plant little Easter eggs between all of these with like other characters popping up or other inside jokes. So that's always fun to enjoy. But because I am biased, I'll probably give you a recommendation of where to start. Just because naturally in 2025, People We Meet on Vacation will be coming out as a movie. This was my first Emily Henry book, and I think it's a great introduction. It has these two individuals who become best friends in college through every summer, I believe. I think it's every summer. Or every year they plan a trip together. I love a good friends to lovers romance. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite romance. In real life, it's my favorite romance for sure, but a good place to at least start, kind of dip your toes in the water that is the Emily Henry universe. Very good place to start. My two favorites, and maybe this will be setting the bar too high for you, is Beach Read and Book Lovers. These two hold such a special place in my heart. Beach Read, I think, was the first book I've ever read in my entire life. My 27. I just had to think about how old I was. Oh my God. In the upper 20s, I just stopped keeping track at this point. I'm like, oh well. This is the first book I've ever read that I immediately restarted and read again. It was that good. And I cried. And then Book Lovers, I always talk about this. This is for the eldest daughters, for the people that prioritize their career over their love lives, for people that are seen as abrasive or too ambitious. This one just hits. This one is just very personal to me, and I love it. Emily Henry also likes to always include a family aspect. So throughout all of these, whether it's like mommy or daddy issues or relationships with siblings or found family, there's always some family aspect, and they're just so good. Her writing style, chef's kiss. I could not recommend it more. So naturally, we're gonna start off with her. After that, another very popular category of romance is sports romance. And you don't have to really know the sports to appreciate these. Personally, I have grown up and still am an avid sports watcher, so I really like when the sports in the sports romance is pretty heavy. It's just a personal preference, but these are gonna be my top recommendations for you. Kind of a nice little plethora of sports here. We have ice skating, we have baseball, which is surprising because I don't like baseball. But I really like this book. And then we have basketball. I cannot express how much I love these books. From Lukov with Love, two individuals who have always been on rival ice skating pairs teams. Something happens and now they are paired up together. They don't get along and they have to kind of work through those differences, but that attraction is there, which is so annoying to them. I will also note Miss Mariana Zapata is the queen of a slow burn, and I love when a slow burn is written well. If they get together before 50% of the book, that's not a slow burn. If it's a romantasy series and they get together in the first book, That is not a slow burn, and that actually makes me so mad, but we're not gonna talk about that today. I also love Ice Skating. Perfect for a nice little winter read, maybe not right now, but once it starts getting a little colder, oh, such a good book. Our next one, so I'll note Miss Liz Tomford. These are both her books. They're also based in Chicago, so I am biased there. All of these can be read as standalones. This is actually book 2 and 4 of her Windy City series. I only wanted to own the books that I really liked, just because I'm a little snooty about my books, okay? We'll admit it. You don't have to read each of the books to know what's going on. The other characters do pop up, but I would not say it's detrimental to understanding the plot if you don't read them in order or all of them. Ryan Shea might be a top 10, I'm gonna say, because I have to really think about it, top 10 book boyfriend of all time. He is an NBA star. Something happens where his sister's best friend has to live with him. This is one of the sweetest romances I've ever read. Also, men like him, I don't want to say don't exist, because I'm also biased because Bobby's incredibly considerate and nice to me, which to me is shocking, given the current pool out there. You'll be giggling and kicking your feet the whole time. And there's not too much basketball in it, but just enough that I was happy. Our next one, Play Along. This is about a star baseball player and one of his athletic trainers who accidentally get married in Vegas. So they have to kind of deal with the press around that. And they're like, hey, well, it'd look really bad if you guys did this, so you're gonna have to stay married. And he's had a crush on her for forever. So much to unpack here. I describe this book as like, if anyone's not able to meet your needs and they are open to learning, key phrase is open to learning, because you know how it is. Direct them to this book, because Isaiah Rhodes is so good at listening and making sure you feel heard. And we're gonna conclude sports romance with this. I could honestly make an entire video about every single one of these categories. So let me know if you want me to. I easily will. I'm also doing most of the books that I have physical copies of. I have limited space here, also being in our apartment. I can't justify building a whole bookshelf, but maybe one day soon, so. But I can easily go into more. Our next category, and the reason I only have 2 here, and you're like, Emily, what are you talking about? Romantasy?
Listen.
This is such a big category that I already have plans to do a full video on it. So make sure you subscribe and so you can see that when it comes up. I just want to give you a little taste into one of my favorite romantasy series recommendations. The Shepherd King duology will change your life. Romantasy is something that I think is really hard to do well. And I say that as a snooty reader myself. Because I think romantasy is done well when there's a good balance of the romance and the fantasy. Oftentimes I see it either way too heavy on the romance and there's no plot, or it's all plot and there's no development of the romance where it doesn't make sense. I think this is the perfect balance of that. And also romantasy is such a popular category. There are thousands of books within this. That's why I'm doing its own video. But the Shepherd King duology includes the perfect introduction into different like magical worlds and different kind of levels of magic. This one is so interesting around like kind of playing cards and this girl who has kind of a cursed card and how she came upon it. There's a lot of politics in this as well, but like not like Game of Thrones politics, I think, where it can get really confusing in the books. This politics makes sense to me. Maybe it's a little bit lower reading level. That's why it makes more sense to me. The romance is just perfectly sprinkled in there where it's not just romance. What makes romantasy so much more intriguing and enthralling is the risk factor around a lot of things. Like I've seen a lot of times where I'm not a big fan of this with marketing where it's all around tropes, or it's like enemies to lovers and it's a workplace romance, and I'm like, enemies, that's just a guy that's like rude. It's not an enemy. Here, like, people's lives are at stake. That's what makes romantasy so exciting, because it makes those moments between the love interests that much more sacred. I could not recommend this enough. Also, Rachel Gilg is coming out with a new series this year. I will be sad. All right, our next category, this is where I have the most books just because it's such a general category and I honestly didn't put a lot of thought into how to break it down. But let's get into general adult romance, modern day. I feel like this is kind of a controversial series only because people either don't believe it deserves the hype or people only talk about this series. We're gonna talk about Miss Anna Huang. This is the Twisted series. This is a series that got me back into reading. I wouldn't say it wasn't the first book because we're not gonna talk about the books that got me back into reading. I'm a little shameful around it, but it's okay. My taste has quickly evolved over the years since then. The Twisted series, though, is the perfect series, I think, to get you into romance. It follows a group of college girls, a little friend group, and each book follows them with their respective love interests. Very modern day, very dramatic, very smutty. I just think it's a fun little introduction into romance because Anna Huang knows how to write dramatic things. She also knows how to write very good smut scenes. That's kind of one of the main things she's known for. I just think these are fun to get into. I will note, once again, you can read these as standalones. I think this one's a little bit more fun to read together because the characters come up quite often between each of them, and then you understand like the friendship dynamics and whatnot. So that makes it very fun. Twisted Love, I think, is not good. I gave it a 3-star. It's look how small it is. Not bad at all. These just hold such a special place in my heart. Are they the best written books? No, but they're fun. They'll entertain you. And then, continuing on with Anna Huang is the King of Sin series. So, this kind of, I'm not gonna say it follows a friend group. I have mixed feelings about this series because the 4th one, King of Sloth, I did not like at all. I think her writing style has gotten just a little bit repetitive to me. Her next book's coming out actually next week, so I'm still gonna read it and review it. We'll see how it is. This series follows a lot of, think like a lot of rich people, and kind of all of them are interconnected. There's this interesting underlying like criminal plot line going on. I'm not really into it personally. I'm just kind of here for the drama and the romance, but there's also that. Personally, these are my 2 favorites, King of Wrath and King of Greed. I love when a man has to grovel and beg for forgiveness. And Anna Huang tends to do that pretty well, but especially these 2. What does that say about me? Let's not unpack that. Actually, or if you want to, maybe this could be a good experience for all of us involved. I don't know. It's not a complete series. You can read these as standalones, but once again, this is something I'm kind of having a little bit of beef with her with, where her other characters from other series are showing up, and to me, it's just kind of feeling very forced to like try to get people very excited to read these other characters coming up, and I don't think they need to be coming up. It's kind of annoying to me that I'm like, oh, all these super powerful people. It makes me think about that top 1% in America who like hold how many billions of wealth within all of them? And this is a fictional world. I don't want to be thinking about that, you know? It's still good. These 2 are great. This one's good. And let's continue on with our adult romance. So a couple different stories here. Our next queen is Miss Allie Hazelwood. I have a confession. I love you, Miss Allie. I don't really love the art style. I think it's just because I don't want people like sucking face on the covers of my books. Can we be a little bit more discreet type situation? Miss Allie Hazelwood is the queen of a good STEM feminist romance, which speaks to me very strongly. These were actually gifted to me by a friend. Thank you, Burnt Out Bookworm. And every single time, so a little background on Miss Allie Hazelwood, she used to write fan fiction, and one of her, I think her first traditionally published book was a Reylo fan fiction, so Rey and Kylo Ren from Star Wars. And it's funny because a lot of her like characters are inspired by Kylo Ren, which is so funny to me. But she cranks out books like nobody's business. She has a very similar formula, and if you're okay with the formula, you love a strong feminist girly, you're gonna have a great time. She's been exploring more of the like paranormal world with like Bride, a romance between a vampire and a werewolf. Oh, this was also so good. I didn't know where to put this. Romantasy? But it's like very romance heavy, so I don't know. If you're okay with that, you love just some good, dramatic, feminist books. Also, she's also known for her smutty scenes. I would highly recommend. Not in Love is my favorite of hers because I think it's my favorite because she's diving a lot more into deeper subjects. She's kind of exploring these different topics, and I'm excited. It's kind of reminding me of Emily Henry, where it's not just romance, which I think a lot of people are starting to prefer that, and I don't prefer that because I want some other substance to the book than just straight flirting and then banging, you know. Highly recommend. I will literally read anything she writes. And then our last couple miscellaneous adult romances. So we have Just Last Night. This book is insane. It's literally insane. It's not at all what you think it is. Whatever you think it is, you read the synopsis. Couple of best friends. The main character is in love with one of her friends. She thought she was over him. She clearly isn't. And then something happens that upturns all of their lives. This book is insane. This is another book that I really enjoy because it's not just romance. It talks a lot about like friendships. This book had me like reflecting on my friends and like who I'm really grateful for, and friendships that maybe I'm a little disappointed we're not as close anymore, but it's probably for the best. I love books that make you reflect on your own life and maybe cry. But the romance also is just so unexpected and perfect. Our next one, just speaking of hard-hitting romances, How to End a Love Story. This was Yulin Kwang's debut. I need more books from her. She's also very busy being a screenwriter for Emily Henry's books. She was involved in the production of People We Meet on Vacation. So you know what? She has her excuses. It's fine. Just the clock is ticking. I would like another book soon. Please and thank you, Miss Yulin. Another hard-hitting book. This book was like a top 3 book of all time for me last year. It's that good. It's just the amount of reflection on yourself. This focuses a lot on like parental relationships, especially like people who their parents are immigrants, and a lot of like Asian trauma, especially in here. This book just was so beautiful. And also like, I like when an adult romance actually has some communicating, because like we're adults, let's act like it. The miscommunication trope drives me nuts, and I think it can be done well if it like makes sense, but I've seen it be a cop-out too many times. But they do it. They communicate so well. Oh, I love them. Then my last adult romance, Christina Lauren's Love in Other Words. Words cannot describe how much I love this book. It's a 2-timeline story about these two individuals who are like best friends growing up. Something happens, they grow apart, and then they reconnect. It's like equally sad, but also so heartfelt and cute with their romance. I love them so much. This was one of the first like big romance books I read when I got back into writing. I am not a writer. Just of reviews though. Check out Goodreads, Storygraph, and Fable. I have lots of opinions there. When I got back into reading in 2020, this was one of the first romance books I read that I really liked. I was like, whoa, this is crazy they write books like this. Wow, that's insane. Good for them. Oh, man. That's adult romance. A little bit spicier. I guess I didn't really talk about like what adult romance entails. Typically, it's at least like 22 and up or so. There's a new category they're trying to encourage, which I'm for, called new adult, which is more of those college years. Because 18, I don't really think. I know you're legally an adult. When I look at my 18 me, that was not an adult. She was a child in an adult body. But adult is going to be a little bit more, probably a little bit more graphic when it comes to the romance. It's going to have a little bit more of those heavier themes typically. The biggest thing really is the smut. And that's what a lot of people focus on, which I have my thoughts on. Not going to shame, but I think I talked about it a little bit in Fearless, maybe my Fearless review. I talked about this recently somewhere. No, I talked about it recently in my Great Big Beautiful Life. Oh my gosh, there's too many books. My Great Big Beautiful Life review. That's where I talked about my thoughts on that. We're not gonna get into that today. Our next category is queer romance. So I have been actively trying to read more queer romances over the past year or so, just because, you know, you gotta diversify what we're reading. Also, I want to understand what's going on a little bit better. And for some reason, I only read queer romances that are sports romances or revolving around politics. Why can't I just find a cutesy little modern day office queer romance? I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the physical copies of these books I'm going to recommend to you because I've been on a book buying ban because trying to save for a home. Adult things, and homes are so expensive. So after looking at my finances, books are one of the first things that we're putting on pause. So I will one day own these. Just today is not that day. First one we're going to recommend. I recommend this very cautiously given the state of American politics. The book is called Bipartisan. It's about a congressman who gets outed against his will and has to fake a relationship with someone he was exploring his sexuality with because he's campaigning right now for re-election, and the opposing candidate is a super homophobic, ugly man, conservative man. So I did not give this book 5 stars, only because I read this shortly before the election in 2024, and I was like, oh, these topics are getting a little too close to home. So if you are able to disassociate and appreciate this book for what it is and not think too much about the parallels between the current state of America, if you're not from America, hopefully you're in a world or you're in a country where we're not trying to take away human rights. But I know we're all struggling right now and we're really not helping. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that now, more at least. If you're able to separate that and this book won't stress you out, I would highly recommend it. It's so cutesy and so fun. We love a little queer awakening. It's just a little stressful, you know? It's super fun and cute. I will also note, I think all of the queer romances I'm recommending are adult. I will note, none of them are young adult. Just a preface, because there are some rated R scenes. Our next one, Cleat Cute. I love this book because one, I love the US women's national team for soccer, and you just know they embody the LGBTQIA plus representation, safe space. We love them. And this book is about two individuals on the team. There's a little bit of a romance. There's a little bit of initial tension because they have very different personalities. One is very uptight and like, this is how it is. The other one's super relaxed, super charismatic. Everyone loves her, and the other one's a little jealous of that. But it's just, there's also great like reflection pieces about who we are and how we handle stress and whatnot. I love this book. I need it immediately. I also want if there was a category of book, if this is a thing, someone let me know, please, because I need more books like this. Queer soccer romances might be one of my top favorite categories. I probably prefer women just because
Wait a damn minute.
I adore the women's national team. They are probably my favorite sporting team of all time. We love them. Yeah, could not recommend enough. My next recommendation, okay, so this is interesting because I finished book 5 out of 8 right now. It's called the Puck Boy series. If you're looking for nothing too serious, you cannot go in like being super critical. It's hard for me to turn that off sometimes. And you're just looking for a good time, nothing too serious. The Puck Boy series, it's literally just gay hockey men. Lots of dramatics, lots of PR issues. There were definitely some I didn't like as much because I just didn't like the characters as much, but they have their own little queer found family where all the queer players across the board all like are friends and hang out after games. Their little found family is so cute. Do not take this too seriously though. This is just a fun little read. This is not going to be the best literature you ever read, and that's okay. It's just for fun. I highly recommend. I can't wait to read the next 3 books. I don't know if they're going to be done at 8. I honestly have not looked into it, but I'd still read more. And then my last recommendation is called Backhanded Compliments. I had the honor of reading the arc of this. I don't think at the time I'm recording this it's out yet. It's a little queer romance between two lesbian? I think they're both lesbians. Lesbian tennis players. I love tennis. I'll also note with all the sports romances, I've noted there's a decent amount of the sport, and that's just because I love the sport aspect. It's not too much, I promise. But if you don't want like any sport in a sport romance, then you might not like these as much. But Backhanded Compliments, once again, kind of similar energy to Clique Cute. They're not on the same team because they're both singles players. That means they play by themselves or not. They don't have a partner. Very different personalities, definitely rivals. So cute. I definitely remember having some issues with the book, but I think it was just like the pacing of it was weird to me and the development of the romance, but it's still very cute. I love tennis, so I had a good time. Can't complain. And our last category is young adult. If you're looking for just something heartfelt, very PG. I read a lot of young adult. As you can see, we have young adult, young adult, young adult, young adult, young adult, young adult, young adult. I read a lot of young adult, so I feel quite like an expert on this topic. Let's get into some young adult romance books. So we have quite a few here. We're gonna do Better Than the Movies first. So Better Than the Movies is the epitome to me of just a fun little, not so serious young adult romance about two neighbors who kind of team up because the girl's interested in this other guy, but she wants to try to make him jealous, so they pretend to date. And naturally, of course, the guy's always liked her the whole time. This book is so cute. I absolutely loved it. She's such a little hopeless romantic. I love them. Controversial opinion, maybe. I would not recommend reading the sequel. The sequel was definitely written just to give us more of the main couple. I think we should have just left it at this. And that's all I have to say about this. My current go-to, always will buy author, besides Emily Henry, is Miss Anne Liang. I discovered her last year. When I tell you my life has been changed ever since, I'm not exaggerating. She is the queen of 1 young adult romances and 2 rivals to lovers. I love drama, I love tension. If you like that, you'll love these. I'm also a little bit biased because I've received arcs to multiple of her books, and that just makes me feel special. I'm like, thank you. And thank you for seeing me as worthy enough to receive these ahead of time. Oh my gosh. I'm also meeting her in June. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I recognize that. It's okay. How many books has she written? 6? I think she's written 6 books. I started out with I Hope This Doesn't Find You. I think this is her best book. I think this is her best book that anyone would love. There's another book of hers that I'm gonna hopefully own soon once I'm off my bookbind ban, and there's the paperback copy of it. I think this is the best book of hers to start off with because it encompasses all the perfect things in her writing. They're rivals. Her form of therapy is writing like hate emails to people but not sending them. And all 75 of her hate emails, not just to him, there were like 38 to him or something though, get sent like to teachers, to other students. It's bad. It's bad. And she has to deal with the repercussions because she's like this like model perfect student who everyone gets along with. And suddenly one day they are getting these like very vicious emails from her. So cute. I love them. Also, a novella is coming out soon from Julius's perspective. I need more of them. Our next 2, this time it's real. Another just super cute, not rivals. It's about 2 individuals who she is trying to get a scholarship, I believe, for her writing. And she's very good at writing love stories and romance as books, maybe. But they're like, oh my gosh, who's your inspiration? You're so good at this. And she's like, in her head, she's like, I just make it all up. But then she's like, oh yeah, I have this boyfriend. So she convinces this guy who's like, I think aspiring like K-pop star or something, but they pretend to date and not because he needs more clout for some reason and she needs a reference. And it's just so cutesy and fun. Just such a cute little read. And then our last one, If You Could See the Sun. This is a crazy book. It's about this girl who, another rivals. I love rivals so much. She suddenly can turn invisible. We're taking a little bit more of that whole fantastical spin to it, and she starts getting people to pay her to spy on other people for secrets and information. And it becomes this whole business, and then it gets very messy. Very, very messy. It's just such a fun little twist, and they're just so cute, and I love them. Anne Liang, another person who just has such a special place in my heart. I love her so much. It's also so weird to me that she writes primarily young adult, and I think she's 2 years younger than me. So now I feel old. Not that there's anything wrong with being old, but I'm just like, wow. A lot of these authors, a lot of these New York best time selling authors are starting to get younger than me. Life just flies by, doesn't it? And that is my current official guide to romance. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of categories here. I can go a lot more into. I can go into very specific, like I can do a whole hockey romance video. I could do a whole video just on Anne Liang. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what other types of books you want to hear about or looking for recommendations for. Let me know if I missed any book. I for sure missed book recommendations. I only have so many books right now. Let's help manifest Emily gets a home with a good room for a full library. And I can just fill all my books in there and put all my money toward my books. Yeah. But thanks for watching today, guys. I appreciate you. Love you so much. Make sure you follow me on all socials. Em's Novellas everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, Storygraph, Fable. See what I'm reading, see what I'm talking about. I'm running a marathon in October, kind of scared. If you want to donate to that, link in bio so we can save some pandas. I'm fundraising with World Wildlife Fund. Oh, the earth. My God. But anyway, I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.